when my grandchildren, Sophia and Michael, abandoned me, saying, "Grandma, you're embarrassing. We're ashamed with our friends. We're not like normal families." I knew it was time to reveal the truth I'd been hiding for 12 years. While they were trying to remove me from their lives as a shameful old grandmother, I was about to tell them that their parents didn't die in a car accident, but in a suicide pact. Comment where you're watching from and stay until the end, because this isn't just a generational conflict. It's the moment a 12-year protective lie collapses. My name is Eleanor Hartwell. I'm 71 years old and live in Phoenix, Arizona. For the past 12 years, I've been living with my grandchildren, Sophia, 20, and Michael, 18. But this isn't just a grandmother-grandchild relationship. I'm their legal guardian, and there's an unbearable secret behind this situation. In 2012, my son David and daughter-in-law Amanda died in a car accident. At least, that's what I told Sophia and Michael. The truth was much darker and more heartbreaking. David and Amanda actually made a suicide pact. Financial ruin, overwhelming debts, gambling addiction, depression. When it all came together, they made a desperate decision. When Sophia was 8 and Michael was 6, their parents intentionally overdosed. The suicide note devastated me. "Mom, we can't burden you anymore. The kids deserve better than what we can provide. Please tell them we loved them, but don't tell them how we died. Let them remember us as victims of an accident, not failure." Child Protective Services contacted me. "Mrs. Hartwell, given the circumstances, would you consider guardianship?" "What circumstances exactly?" "Your son and daughter-in-law's death was intentional, a suicide pact. We prefer children to be with family rather than in the foster system." Suicide pact. Words that still haunt me. The decision was immediate. Take Sophia and Michael. Protect them from a truth too devastating for children. Create a story they could live with. Car accident became the official narrative. Clean, tragic, but not shameful. No stigma, no questions about mental health. No guilt about parents choosing death over life with them. But carrying this secret changed me fundamentally. I became withdrawn, careful, protective to an extreme degree. I constantly worried about the children's mental health, their happiness, their stability. Sophia and Michael grew up believing their parents died tragically, but accidentally. I tried to give them a normal childhood, but the trauma I carried affected everything. "Grandma, why don't you smile much?" "Just tired, sweetheart." "Why don't we visit Mom and Dad's friends?" "They moved away after the accident." "Too painful." "Why don't you like when we go to parties?" "Parties can be unsafe. I prefer you home." Lies layered upon lies, but protective lies designed to spare them from unbearable truth. As teenagers, Sophia and Michael began noticing my behavior patterns, the depression I couldn't shake, anxiety about their activities, reluctance to engage socially. "Grandma, other grandparents are more fun." "Fun isn't the priority. Safety is." "But you seem sad all the time." "I'm fine. Just cautious." "Why are you so different from other families?" "Different? Because I carried the weight of a suicide secret for years. The high school years brought more questions, more frustration with my parenting style." "Grandma, you're too protective. We can't do anything normal teenagers do." "Normal can be dangerous." "Everything's dangerous according to you." "Some things genuinely are." "Like what?" "You never explain specifics." The specifics involved mental health concerns, depression patterns, family history of suicide. How do you explain that? College applications brought a crisis. Sophia wanted to attend university across the country. I panicked. Sophia, local colleges are excellent options. I want independence, new experiences. Independence comes gradually. I'm 18. When do I get freedom? When you're ready. Who decides readiness? You've been controlling our lives forever. Controlling, not protecting in their eyes. Controlling. Michael had similar complaints about senior year activities. Grandma, a graduation trip with friends is a normal tradition. Unsupervised travel is risky for teenagers. Other parents allow it. Other parents don't understand the risks. What risks specifically? Mental health crises, depression episodes, impulsive decisions. All risks I feared because of genetic predisposition and family trauma. But I couldn't explain without revealing the truth. Last year, the breaking point approached. Both kids were increasingly frustrated with restrictions, increasingly embarrassed by my behavior. Grandma, you don't act like other grandparents. How should I act? Happy, social, encouraging about our futures. I encourage your futures. You discourage everything. College far away, travel, independence, social activities. I encourage safety. Safety from what? You never explain. Because the explanation involves suicide, mental health, family history of self-destruction. Topics too dangerous to discuss. 6 months ago, social embarrassment became a major issue. Sophia brought college friends home for dinner. I tried being welcoming, but anxiety made me awkward. The conversation stilted. Mrs. Hartwell, you seem worried about something, one friend observed. I'm always cautious about young people's activities. Cautious how? Just general concern for safety. After the friends left, Sophia confronted me. Grandma, you embarrassed me. My friends think you're weird. Weird how? Nervous, anxious, like you're expecting disaster constantly. I just worry about your well-being. Worry is normal. Your level of anxiety isn't anxiety, an accurate assessment. Michael had a similar experience with his girlfriend's family. Eleanor seems troubled, the girlfriend's mother mentioned. Troubled how? Sad, anxious, like she's carrying a heavy burden. That's just Grandma's personality. Most grandparents are happier about their grandchildren's achievements. Michael came home confused. Grandma, Rebecca's mom thinks you're depressed. I'm not depressed. You seem depressed. Always worried, never really happy. I'm happy when you're safe. Safe from what? Nothing bad ever happens? Nothing bad ever happens. If only he knew. 3 months ago, the final confrontation began. Sophia announced her decision. Grandma, I'm transferring to UCLA next semester. UCLA? That's California. Yes, I need independence from this environment. What environment? The anxious, controlling, depressing environment. Depressing environment. Accurate but hurtful. I provide a stable home. Stable but suffocating. I can't breathe here. Can't breathe? Your anxiety affects everything. Every decision, every activity, every relationship. I'm protective because I love you. This isn't protective love. This is fearful control. Fearful control, also accurate. Michael supported Sophia's decision. Grandma, we need space from your depression. I'm not depressed. You are. And it's affecting our mental health. Our mental health? Ironic, since depression concerns motivated my behavior. What if I explained the reasons for my caution? You never explain anything. Always vague warnings about dangers. Some explanations are too painful. More painful than living under constant anxiety? A valid question. We're adults now, Sophia said. We deserve the truth about why you're so fearful. The truth might be worse than the fear. We'll risk it. What if the truth changes how you see everything? Everything needs to change. This lifestyle isn't healthy. Last month, the ultimatum was delivered. Grandma, we're moving out together. An apartment near campus. You can't support yourselves. We'll manage. It's worth it for mental peace. Mental peace. What I'd tried to provide, but failed. Please reconsider. We've decided your anxiety and control are too much. What if I told you the reasons? Then tell us. Stop keeping secrets. Decision moment. 12 years of protective lies versus devastating truth. 2 weeks ago, I made my choice. Sit down. Both of you. They sat, expectant but skeptical. You want the truth about my behavior? Yes. The truth about why I'm fearful, anxious, controlling? Yes. Deep breath. Point of no return. Your parents didn't die in a car accident. Silence. Complete, shocked silence. What do you mean? Sophia whispered. I mean, I lied about how they died. Why would you lie? To protect you from a truth too painful for children. What truth? Your parents committed suicide. An explosion of disbelief. What? Michael jumped up. That's impossible, Sophia screamed. I wish it were. You're lying. I'm telling the truth for the first time in 12 years. Suicide? Mom and Dad? Yes. That's insane. I have documentation. Documentation? I retrieved a locked box from the bedroom. Inside, the suicide note, police reports, coroner's reports, medical examiner documents. This is the note your parents left. I handed them the letter in David's handwriting. Dear Mom, we can't continue this life. The debts are overwhelming. The future is hopeless. We love Sophia and Michael too much to burden them with our failures. Please tell them we died accidentally. Let them remember us as loving parents, not as people who gave up. Take care of our babies. Don't let them know we chose this. They read in stunned silence. This is the police report confirming intentional overdose. Overdose? Sophia was barely audible. Prescription pills, carefully planned. Mom and Dad killed themselves. Yes. Michael was reading the coroner's report, his face pale. This says they took massive quantities of sleeping pills and painkillers. Enough to ensure to death. But why? Financial problems. Your father's gambling addiction, overwhelming debt, depression. Gambling addiction? Hidden from everyone. He lost house savings, retirement funds, borrowed against everything. We never knew. Children weren't supposed to know. Sophia was staring at the suicide note. They say they loved us. They did love you. Then why did they leave us? Because depression convinced them you'd be better without them. Better without them. Mental illness distorts thinking, makes people believe lies. So you raised us. Because they asked me to. Because you needed family. Why didn't you tell us when we got older? How do you tell children that their parents chose death over life with them? By telling the truth. The truth would have devastated your self-image, your ability to trust relationships. Living lies devastated our relationship with you. A valid point. Long silence as they processed the information. Michael spoke first. This explains everything. What do you mean? Your anxiety, your depression, your fear about our mental health? I was terrified you'd inherited depression, suicidal tendencies. So you watched us constantly. looking for warning signs, mood changes, social withdrawal, academic struggles. You were protecting our mental health. I was trying to. Sophia looked up, tears streaming. Grandma, we've been horrible to you. You didn't know. We called you embarrassing, controlling, depressing. I am those things. Because you were carrying this secret alone. For 12 years, while watching for signs we might follow their path. Every day. That's why you seemed sad all the time. Grief for my son, fear for my grandchildren, the weight of the secret. Why tell us now? Because you're adults. Because living lies was destroying our relationship. Because you deserve the truth. Are we at risk? Genetically? Depression can run in families, but environment, support, and awareness matter more than genetics. What happens now? Your choice. You wanted independence. Now you understand my fears. Do you still want us to move out? I want you to make informed decisions. Sophia stood up slowly. I don't want to move out anymore. Why not? Because I understand now. You weren't controlling us. You were protecting us. Michael nodded. I'm sorry we called you embarrassing. I am embarrassing. But now you know why. You're not embarrassing. You're traumatized. You've been grieving and worrying alone for 12 years. Someone had to carry the burden. Not alone. We should have shared it. You were children. Children deserve protection from adult tragedies. We're not children now. No, you're not. Sophia hugged me, the first real embrace in years. Thank you for protecting us. Thank you for understanding. What do we do with this information? Whatever helps you heal. Therapy, support groups, honest conversations. Do we tell our friends? Your choice. But consider carefully. Some truths are private. Will you get help too? For your depression and anxiety? I should. I've been avoiding therapy because it meant revealing the secret. The secret's out now. Yes, the secret's out. Today, 4 months later, we're all in family therapy, processing grief, trauma, and protective lies. Sophia decided to stay local for college. I want to be near family while we heal. Michael volunteers with a suicide prevention organization. I want to help families like ours. My depression is lifting gradually. Sharing the burden makes everything lighter. The truth was painful, but living lies was more painful. When my grandchildren, Sophia and Michael, abandoned me saying, Grandma, you're embarrassing. We're ashamed with our friends. We're not like normal families. I revealed the truth I'd been hiding for 12 years. While they were trying to remove me from their lives as a shameful old grandmother, I told them that their parents didn't die in a car accident, but in a suicide pact. Sometimes embarrassing behavior comes from carrying unbearable secrets. Sometimes depression is a response to trauma, not a character flaw. And sometimes the person you're ashamed of has been protecting you from a truth that would have destroyed your childhood. Sophia and Michael learned that protective lies are sometimes necessary, but eventually destructive. They learned that mental illness takes many forms, including anxiety in caregivers. And they learned that the grandmother they called embarrassing was actually a hero who sacrificed her mental health to preserve theirs. The truth set us free. But freedom came with understanding the price paid for protection. Suicide leaves ripple effects through generations, not just the immediate victims, but the survivors who carry secrets, trauma, and fear. My embarrassing behavior was the result of love, not weakness. Fear for their safety, not a desire to control. Recovery requires honesty about mental health, family history, genetic risks, and protective strategies. Now we face the future together, honestly, with support systems and professional help. No more secrets, no more protective lies, just truth, healing, and hope that understanding our parents' struggles helps break the cycle of silence. Sometimes shame is misdirected. Real shame belongs to the stigma around mental illness, not to families affected by suicide. We're not embarrassing. We're survivors. And survival requires courage, truth, and community support. Healing begins with honesty about pain, about family history, about mental health struggles. The truth is difficult, but the truth is also liberating. And a family strong enough to face the truth together can overcome anything.